Well, they were just doing their job. Police in Sydney, Australia, credited with preventing what could have been mass carnage, refusing to pat themselves on the back, as probably I would have done. That's kind of how police roll, you know, whether down under in Australia or just last month up north in Ottawa or just last week in New York, trying to keep calm while my biz pals see everyone else losing a sense of calm. It does make you think, Tracy, doesn't it?
It sure does. And this time of year, Neil, if you haven't made a charitable contribution to your local police or fire department, you damn well should right now, because they run, don't pass go, run into the line of fire every single time to save our lives, and we don't even know them. And these people did it so graciously. They don't want accolades. They just want Sydney to get on with it. And that's not how it is here sometimes. I feel like it's so different here. Everyone wants a pat on the back, and nobody wants to give our police officers credit for what they do day in, day out.
Well, you know when it really hit me, Veronica? I mean, and I think that no group is perfect. Some people think that, you know, all TV anchors are idiots. Anyway, that we lose sight of something more basic. These policemen protected the protesters who were chanting, "Kill cops."
Right.
That, to me, was a weird snapshot right there.
It's a weird, right, because they're protecting them. These protesters are cursing at them, throwing things at them. In the case of on the Brooklyn Bridge, those officers got injured, and they have to stand there and put up with it, and that's not right. You can disagree with someone, but you can do it respectfully. There's a way to do that. And these guys, like Tracy said, are running into buildings when everyone else is running out. They're the people you call when you have a problem. So these are the people we need to respect. They do a lot for our society and uphold that rule of law, which we desperately need in this country.
I just wonder where we're going here, Scott, because now we've got, you know, tense relations between law enforcement and the mayor of the city, but growing questions as to whether law enforcement, period, is looking after all races equally. And that scares me because then it breeds distrust.
I agree 100%, right? I mean, can law enforcement, Neil, enforce the law and not be prosecuted for it? You know, that's one of the issues. Other media, certainly not here, has taken a few bad apples and said, oh, the whole bunch must be bad. So, yes, Mr. or Mrs. Protester, you know, make life hard for them and don't obey the law and don't obey them because you don't have to. But I think another point you brought up, Neil, is very important. The way that some younger folk especially view the police is as an extension of their local government, which they have massive distrust for and certainly a lot of distaste for. So they look at the police as maybe an extension of that and say, well, if we don't like our local government, then we don't like the police either and shouldn't respect them.
Well, all I know, Tracy, if I'm a cop, right, and I'm afraid about being sued or thrown out of my work and have a hard time finding anything at all, I'm just going to hold back on every demonstration, on every dust-up.
Or you're going to quit, or you're not going to want it to be your career. I mean, it's much like doctors in Obamacare. They don't want anything to do with it. That's the last thing we want, are qualified people to walk away from this job because they get no respect.
Touche for bringing Obamacare into the tour de force.
Oh, work it in.
All right, forget about banning